So in the last video, we talked about letting go of judgments. Well, once you let go of judgments, now we're going to talk about moving to the next level. And the next step is to have acceptance, the acceptance of all things. What you want to do is you want to release all of the negative emotions that you have about yourself, others, or situations, whether it's frustration, hostility, anger, disappointment, and you want to just let those go. You want to be able to accept yourself fully, accept others fully, and accept the circumstances as they are. You want to stop trying to fix things, trying to make everything as you think it should be. You need to let go of the necessity to feel like I'm in control of everything. You just want to be at peace with everything and everyone. Have total peace about it. And one thing, when we say the acceptance of all things, whether ourselves or others or circumstances, is it's not in any way to excuse bad or wrong behavior. And it's not to be complacent in things. It's just a matter of accepting where things are in this moment. And one thing to realize is that life is a journey, and we're all on this journey. And we're all at different levels on our journey, and some of us are taking our own unique twists and turns on this journey of life. We want to be able to accept where our journey has taken us to at this moment. Not necessarily that we want to stay exactly where we are, but we accept where we are in this moment. And we want to accept others where they are in their journey. We want to accept where we've come from. Maybe we didn't always make the best choices in life, but we accept that it's all for a greater good. That's part of mindfulness, is the acceptance of all things. We want to be able to approach ourselves with greater understanding, with compassion and empathy, and to approach others and circumstances with understanding, compassion, and empathy. And remember, we talked about loving kindness meditation. Well, this can connect to acceptance of all things, because once you are able to extend understanding and empathy to others, compassion, then you can start to send forth love, to send forth kindness, to dwell on love and kindness as it relates to yourself and other people. Try to infuse your meditations with love and kindness, whether it's love for yourself or love for others. Try to give yourself a break. Be kind to yourself. Give others a break. Be kind to them. And once you start to accept circumstances, people, and yourself as they are in this moment, it can be an incredibly liberating experience, much like when you let go of judgments, there's a liberation. Well, this too also gives you a liberation. And I think once you start to look at like various recovery programs, one key element is accepting where things are, accepting the fact that you're not in control of everything. And we may not be alcoholics or drug addicts, but we all have imperfections, both as us as individuals, other people, and this world is clearly not perfect. But once you can accept things, then you can move forward with your life. You can have a better quality of life. And that's one thing about being mindful, is to release the judgments, accept where you are in this moment, and then give yourself the ability to move forward. Because one of the keys of transformation is letting go of judgments and accepting things as they are. Now, in terms of how do I accept all things? How do I have acceptance in this moment? Well, one thing is when you're meditating is to simply embrace the acceptance, release all the hostility and anger and things like that. And you can do that in your meditation. Just consciously commit while you're meditating to accept things as they are, and consciously commit to release those things that you have no control over and to release all the frustrations. That's one aspect. Choose it. And you can use your meditation specifically to make that choice. But you can also choose in your day-to-day life to say, I'm going to accept all things in this moment. Another thing too is that the power of breath. You might want to, as you're doing your deep breaths, as you start your meditation, take a breath or two or three and breathe in acceptance, release, stress, anxiety, hostility, and so forth. Like, let's do one right now. I'm going to breathe in acceptance. Breathe in acceptance. Hold for a moment and release all stress and anxiety. And if you do that through the breath, the power of breath can calm your mind and body. Remember that from stillness. It can also make acceptance easier to acquire. Another thing, and we'll get into it deeper, is you can affirm your acceptance. And you can affirm your acceptance within your meditation, of course, but I have a time where I do affirmations when I first wake up in the morning and when I go to bed at night. So one of my key affirmations is the acceptance of all things. And I simply say the acceptance of all things. And of course, you can have other affirmations like, I accept myself where I am now. I accept others where they are now. I accept the circumstances and things out of my control. You can have different types of affirmations, create your own on the acceptance of all things. But that's another place. When you first wake up, when you go to bed, do affirmations, but do at least an affirmation or two where you embrace the acceptance of all things in one form or another, whether it's a general acceptance or whether you want to specify it to, I accept my spouse in this moment, or I accept my children in this moment. You can be more specific. But that's a strategy too, to begin to accept all things in this moment.